Come for the bread, stay for the politics. I'm Ben Walsh, and this is Let Them Eat Bread. Welcome back, everyone. I know the show has been off for quite a while, but we are back with episode 43. We are making crackers this week, sesame crackers. This is going to be a bit of a shorter episode because crackers, unlike bread, do not need time to rise. So we have a brief 15-minute period in the middle here where the dough will be resting, where I'll do a little bit of our politics, and it's essentially going to be some talk about game theory and why you shouldn't expect too much from the January 6th Commission hearings. So, with that being said, we are going to get started. Again, it's going to be a fairly short episode this week, so don't worry too much about that. We'll be back next week, and if this episode with the crackers is successful, I might do a different style of crackers next week. We'll just have to see. All right, guys, let's get started.
Hey everybody, we're going to start with equal parts of salt and sugar. It's going to be 9 grams each. Once those are in, we're going to add our flour, 300 grams of all-purpose flour. Once our dry ingredients are in the bowl, we're just going to give them a quick mix around to make sure everything is well combined before adding our oil, and that's going to be 75 grams of olive oil. I'm using EVU. Next up, we have 155 grams of water. Once these are added, all of our ingredients are together, we're going to give those a mix. It's going to start out a little soupy at first. Do not worry, after about 4 or 5 minutes, it'll turn into this lovely, luscious ball. Just remember to scrape down your sides and get everything you need. Next up, we're going to cover this for about 15 minutes so the dough can get nice and collected and make it easier for us to work with. All right, Live Ben, back to you.
All right, so we have brought our dough together. As you saw, it was very quick. Now what we are going to do is we're going to let our dough rest for about 15 minutes, during which we are going to have a quick politics conversation. Again, disguised as game theory. So if you're not here for the politics, that's okay. Just fast forward about 15 minutes and we'll come back and we'll start to shape our crackers. If you are here for the politics, however, we're going to get started in just a second.
All right, so we are uncovering our dough. It won't have risen, so don't expect it to, right? We're taking it out onto our board here. No flour on the board, and we're going to divide it into 4 pieces. Now, you should probably divide it into more than this because each one will make more than a regular tray, so just keep that in mind. I recommend 6. Next up, we're going to take some parchment paper about the size of a sheet tray, and we're going to thoroughly flour. It says lightly flour, but ignore this. Thorough flouring is the way to go. It will stick otherwise, and it may still stick. So just be careful. Make sure to flour all of your work surfaces, the top of your dough, as well as your rolling pin. Make sure you thoroughly roll it there. Also, Ben, people definitely did see you drop that there. You're bad. All right, so now we're going to start rolling it out very carefully. Now, it is going to take a long time for it to come out. Be patient with it. Make sure the parchment paper isn't getting crinkled underneath. Add as much flour as you need. Adding more flour here is not going to hurt your crackers, guys. So do whatever you need to do. Fold it in, roll it out, roll it back in, roll it back out. As long as you get to that beautiful rectangular shape that we want at the end, that's all that matters. So take your time. Next up, now that it's in the right place, we are going to sprinkle generously, I repeat, generously sesame seeds all over there. And then we are going to roll those sesame seeds into the dough. Okay, you're not trying to expand the dough, so the dough expands. Just kind of fold it back in and roll it back into the dough. Just make sure that you have as many sesame seeds packed into there as you possibly can, all right? It's really going to make it taste better in the end. Once this is done, we are going to transfer this to a tray. All right. Now, I actually think you should cut it before putting on the tray. I experienced this the hard way, so I had to do this with a pizza cutter and then a knife, and it was just a giant mess. So really what you should do is, especially if it's all on the piece of parchment, you should just make sure that you run your pizza cutter across it to make whatever size crackers you want. I recommend making them smaller than they recommend 2 inches, just doesn't make sense. And then once you're done that and you have them all the size you wanted, stab that with a fork as many times as possible in those crackers. This is to prevent the crackers from rising. You just want to poke and poke and poke and poke over and over and over and over again until you can finally get to where you need to go. We are going to repeat this process with all of the 4 corners we have, and then we're going to chuck these in an oven at 375 degrees for 14 minutes, 7 per side, okay?
All right, so we have flattened, sesame seeded, rolled, cut all 4 of our pieces of dough here. And because it's taken a while, we've also got some in the oven. We've been cycling some, which means that for the second time in a very long time, we're going to get to taste something that we made for the show on the show. So I have a cracker here. Didn't puff up, which is nice. little darker than I'd want it to be. I think I'll just hold this up to the camera so you can see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I can't really zoom in here. A little darker than I'd want. You know, I'm not, and the curvature isn't great on this, but honestly, it looks great. So let's just see. That's actually really solid. Great crunch. I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone, but the crunch on this is incredible. Mmm. It's really good. I like this a lot. Crackers are a good idea. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. That's it for this week. I will see you guys next week with a brand new recipe. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, throw a like on it, share with your friends, and subscribe for more of our content. You can also find all of our videos and clips on youtube.com. Just search Let Them Eat Bread and you'll find all of our content. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye for now.